G'day lads, it's the Lonely Chicken here, and today we're going to be reviewing this Dremel 4000 high performance rotary tool. Now, I noticed that there wasn't really a review on YouTube when the time I made this video, so I thought maybe I should do a review of this just to let people know, because I only got this tool recently and I had a couple of questions. They weren't really answered that much in the manual, and I couldn't really find much about them on YouTube. So I had to figure it out for myself, and I don't want anyone breaking anything like I almost did. So let's get this review going. So this is the 450 model, meaning that it has 4 attachments and 50 accessories. Now, if you don't know what the difference between an attachment and an accessory is, I can explain that later. But first, let's look around. On the front of the box, we have this nice printed out image with all of the stuff that comes with it. On the top, we have a handle, very useful, and all of this stuff here. And I will note, I have opened this before, hence this. I'm just hoping it stays together. On the side here, we have this information guide. It tells you all the specifications. So the weight is 0.53 of a kilogram, 5,000 to 35,000 RPM, and all of the other stuff that you get there, ball bearings. On this side, we just have a picture of the Dremel. On the bottom, we have some features of it. I'll read those out. Separate on and off switch, retained speed setting for ease of use. Quick collet lock and fast accessory changes. Can be used with all Dremel accessories and attachments. Variable speed for greater versatility. Electronic feedback maintains speed under load. High performance motor for maximum performance at all speeds. And then on the back is the reason why you don't want to throw this box away. It has everything that you get in the thing here. So this one has a 5-year limited warranty. It has an accessory case. It has the storage case, which is under here. And it has the actual tool. It has the manual. It has, and these are the attachments, garden tool sharpener, sanding/grinding guide, cutting guide, and flexi shaft. And then it has all of these. And I found it really cool that it's color coded. So down the bottom here, we have the different colors, and you can match up the colors to see what everything is. And all of these are in order as well. Alright, so let's open it up. Alright, here it is. This is the nice case. Very nice Dremel logo there. And it's dead simple everywhere else, apart from the Dremel on the handle. And to open it, you just want to make sure the Dremel logo is facing up. Pull these clips out at the bottom, and it hinges open, like that. Alright, so in here at first glance, you'll see that we have the flexi shaft up the top, and we have all the manuals up here. So manuals, we have the regular manual, warranty, registration. I think this one was actually separate in there. And this one is I think it's about all of the attachments. When I put this back together though, I think this one may have been down here or up there or something, so not sure. And then we also have the flexi shaft instructions, and then the basic manual. Now, I would highly recommend reading all of the manuals like I did. It gives you a lot of insight and a lot of information about it. So definitely 100% read these manuals before you actually turn any of this on. They give you a lot of information, but unfortunately, they don't give you all of the information. And they lacked some diagrams that I wish they had. Another thing that I wish it had was like some sort of poster or a booklet about all of the Dremel attachments there are at the time of this making, so that you could figure out what they were all for and what sort of speeds they have. So I just think it would be really nice having a chart. The only stuff we really get is just some basic things about the groups. Anyway, in here, first up, you can remove the cardboard. This is just to protect it. And you'll see that we have our attachments down here. These are the manuals for these attachments here. So if you're going to use the attachments, read the manuals. Now, the attachments I'll get into those later. It also comes with this extra mandrel thing. Very nice. And one thing I do like about this case is that it also has the space for all of the extra stuff that you get in something like a higher class. So like I think there's a 4,650, so it comes with like 6 attachments. And so there's the places for all of the other things. So if you buy something extra, it will probably fit in this case. Anyway, here we have the accessories case, and it has all that you need in there to actually operate the Dremel. We actually have the proper Dremel here. And then up here is the flexi shaft, of course. So let's get into the actual details of all of this stuff. Okay, so the Dremel itself is actually really nice to hold. Like, I still got that wired up, but holding it is just really nice. I can hold it in pencil grip, or you just hold it like that regularly. It has a hanger on here if you're using something like the flexi shaft, or you just want to hang it up for something else. Of course, it's got its adjustable speed here, all the way from, see that? All the way from 5 to 35,000 RPM. And then up here you have your on and off switch. And then here you have your locking button, so it will be like that. And then when you turn this and find the proper thing, it will press right down, and you can't actually move this. Alright, so now I'm going to talk to you about collet, mandrels, and attachments. So essentially, this comes with 4 attachments. You've got your cutting guide, your sanding and grinding guide, your garden tool sharpener, and your flexi shaft. Flexi shaft meaning that it essentially attaches on, and it's just an extension of your work, and you use it for more detailed work, so you get a smaller thing that you're holding. You have all of your accessories in here. Now these are the things that you're actually going to be using on here. And so accessories in this consist of collets and mandrels. Now to understand this, we must know all of the parts of the Dremel just as it is here. So this here, this tightens up the collet. The collet is this piece here. And essentially what the collet is it grips around an accessory. So if you can see here, the collet is springy. So if it is pushed in from the front, just like how a drill works, regular drill, it can grip around the piece. So this piece here, the collet comes in, and you'd screw it up and it grips around nice and tight, holds it, doesn't fall out. The collet would go either on the Dremel itself, or if you were using the flexi shaft, it would go on there, and this would come around and tighten onto it. And so, if you were actually using the flexi shaft, another thing you'd need to know is that, or to use any attachment here, you need to take off this, and all of the attachments screw on. So if you want to use any of these 3 attachments, you keep the collet on the Dremel itself and you screw this around it. If you want to use the flexi shaft, you put the collet on here. Then if you want to use the flexi shaft, you get this special thing here, and this will actually go onto that, right? And the end of the flexi shaft has that little shaft in it there, and basically that's a bendy shaft, and so the Dremel will spin that around and it'll come down here and it will transfer to this. And so the idea is that you just screw this onto the end of that, and that would be how you use it, right? But when you use it, you need to hang it up as well, because it's dangerous to use this at too sharp of an angle, because then the small wire that goes inside here could bend up and could possibly break as well. So the 2 things to remember with the flexi shaft: don't use it in extreme angles, and don't stretch the small wire inside. Time to talk more about collets and mandrels. So as I've said, a collet is this small piece here. This kit comes with 2 collets. This is just your regular use one. And then this one here is a smaller one. So if you see here, one is a lot bigger than the other. So you'd use these for different things. Most of the accessories that come with this will use this collet. And so to use it, you'd probably want to have that on unless you're using an attachment. And then you'll have your collet in here. You'll have this on top, loose. Remember that? And you then select what you're going to use. So in your list of things to use, there is mandrels. And what mandrels are is it's an accessory that already has a stick on it. So you just put it straight in there and you're good to go. Off you go. So this is a mandrel, has a stick on it. This is a mandrel, it's got the stick on there. This one here is a special type of mandrel because you use this for attachments, I believe. No, not attachments. You use this for other things. So I believe that this one, you might use it for the polishing wheel or something like that. You would attach that on there and off you go. You'd use it. This is a mandrel. It's a sanding one. Another sanding mandrel. Wire brush mandrel. This is very important. This is your spanner. And then this is something that Dremel is very proud of. It's their easy lock mandrel. So this one, I'll demonstrate this, and I'll use this as an example of how to put on a mandrel. So what you do, you press in the lock button. Now, at some stages of this, it won't go all the way in. It will just stay like that. So what you do is you just turn it until it goes all the way down and it's nice and firm. Then you put this on loosely. You put in your mandrel. Okay, you put in your mandrel. You tighten it up to your finger strength. Then you keep it on the lock. Grab your spanner and you tighten it really tight so it doesn't come out. Now the easy lock mandrel can be used with a range of things that come in here. So essentially anything that has that sort of looking stuff on the back of it. Because what you do is you bring your easy lock up, you pull this down, and then you essentially put that in there. You twist it and you let go, and it should snap into place and it's nice and firm in there. To undo it, you pull it down, you twist it and you pull it off. Pretty simple. I'll show you again with this. You pull it down, put it on, you can see there, twist it, and it'll click into place. So you can sort of see how it works on this one. And then you would be good to go. You set your RPM, turn it on, and away you go. Now, to take off a mandrel, it's dead simple once again. You turn this until it's all the way in, use the spanner, loosen it, and then you untighten it here and pull that out. Now, one concern that I originally had with my Dremel was when it was brand new, what I found was that the actual collet and the locking nut, they came together and they wouldn't actually separate. And I realised that was just because it was brand new and it came tight in the box from the factory. All I needed to do was just pull this out and use it normally, right? And so after a while of just putting in different mandrels, then it becomes a lot looser and you don't actually have to keep pushing and pulling this out. It'll just stay in the Dremel itself. Now, that's a lot of the basics of it. And there's obviously a lot of other stuff in here. Now, this mandrel is something that I'd actually like to show you. So this mandrel is to use with all of your grinding attachments that aren't the easy lock ones. So easy lock attachments, you get 2 metal ones, 2 plastic ones, and then you get 2 thin cut ones. and they all say easy lock on them. But there are also some you get over here which just have holes in them. You might be wondering, how do I use these? You know, like I want to use these. What do? You use this mandrel here. This mandrel has a small screw on the top of it. So what you would do, you get the cutting one you want, you get the mandrel, you get your spanner, and once again, you would lock this into place, put on the nut, then you put your mandrel in, set it to your height, tighten it by hand, then you get your spanner, and then for this mandrel there's an extra step. Because there's a small screw on the top, you actually use the back of your spanner. So you would use this small bit on the end here, and you would unscrew that. Okay, so you'd unscrew it, and next thing you know, out comes this small screw. Now, you would get your blade that you wish to use, your cutting disc, you put the screw in there, then you bring it back up to the mandrel, and you screw it in. And you keep on screwing, get the back of your little spanner thingy. Actually, I'll do it a bit more by hand first. And you'd screw it tight, you'd set your RPM, and you'd be all good to go. Now, if you want to know what RPMs to use for different sort of applications, visit the manual, because that gives a lot of guides on what to use and what not to use. Okay, now that's tight, you'd be all good to use that. Well, that was it for my review of the Dremel 4000 4-50. If you still have questions about this, or if there's something that you're unsure of, there are 3 things you can do. 1, you can read your manual, just make sure you haven't skipped over something. 2, look it up on like Google or YouTube. And 3, if you really don't know and you just want a fast answer, I might be able to help you if you leave a comment down in the comment section below. So that is it, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope this helped you out, and I'll see you next video, maybe. Bye-bye.
It's a lonely chicken.